Hello and welcome to another episode of Squirtified Engineering, another episode of Driving Home with Sprutis. So I am Sprutis and I will be your host for this episode. Since the weather is the way it is, I'm continuing with the Xbox driving instead of driving from work in my car. And Forza Horizon 4 wanted to make a big update. I didn't want that, so here we have Forza Motorsport 7 instead. And the thing I want to talk about today is basically humankind and the demise of us all. It's now 8 or something in the evening. I should be in the garage right now. I should have spent 3 hours already, but on my way home from work I was in a small car accident. Very minor, no injuries on me nor the other driver, but completely unnecessary. I had just finished a lane change and was waiting in queue for a traffic light, and a woman behind me, she wanted to go into another lane, but she didn't have enough room, and instead of waiting for the green light to come on so that I could move forward, she decided to try and squeeze by, and that actually meant squeezing by. So she hit my left rear corner, and of course I got furious and sad. So I've just spent the last hour and something to file a report with my insurance company, and after the accident, and this might be good for you to remember. If you're in an accident and you're in a bad spot like I was, I took a picture of her driver license and told her to follow me to the gas station. There was one like 30 meters over. So by taking a picture of her driver license and license plate, then she can't really run away, because I know that's breaking the law in another way. So that's good to do if you're ever in that situation. And she did sign a paper saying that she took full responsibility for the accident. But when I was inside the gas station to get paper to write on, she was rubbing my car, trying to remove the paint that her car had left on mine. So by doing that, she's trying to destroy evidence. Fortunately, before I left the car, I took a picture of the damage, so I have a picture of the damage. There is a dent, and my rear bumper is hanging crooked, and some scratches. But also by her rubbing on the paint, she adds more scratches. So she's trying to destroy evidence, and she's creating new evidence of her fault. Yeah, her car, it was a Ford Focus, like 2000, early 2000 model. and it was banged up a bit, broken front bumper and so on. She had only had her license for 5 years. I think you could expect more of a driver that's been driving for 5 years, but apparently not. And okay, so some of you, now we're starting to get into the actual topic. Some of you might think, well, it's just a Peugeot 206. It's not worth much. It's not an expensive car in that way. It's not a special car. It's not a modified car. It's stock. It's only done 70,000 kilometers. So, I mean, like a quarter of the other 206s that you find on the second-hand market. So it's not special in any way. And but the thing is, I have used my own money to buy it, and in order to get that money, I had to do some work. I had to go to work. I had to I had to perform. Not perform as an actor, but I had to prove my worth at work. I mean, I can't. Maybe if I can't go to work and just take fikas all day and just watch the time run out. I need to do something meaningful. I need to feel that I've done something for the salary. And so what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter if it's a car for a few crowns, dollars, or a few millions, because someone has done the work to earn that money. So the next thing is that people might say, well, aren't people more important than material things? Yeah, sure. But it's the people who go to work and earn the money. So by accepting the value of a material thing, you accept the value of someone's work. And therefore it doesn't matter if it looks like crap or something, because there will always be someone who is proud to own it. I was actually very proud to own my Peugeot because it was a very nice car. It's a very fun car. It's not as fast as my Supra. It's not as exciting. Well, it can be exciting to drive it, but if I were to drive my Supra in the same way, then that would be of course more exciting. So, and I mean, of course, she tried to tone down the damage that she had done, and that just, I didn't scream at her, but I was boiling on the inside. And you see that every day. You see people who park too close next to your car. I mean, just today at work we have it is 8 parking spots that it used to be a shortcut between the parking lanes, but they needed the parking spots, so they painted it. So we then have 8 parking spots that are bigger than the normal ones. So people who need to bring their trailer to work, they can park there because there is no fence in between the lanes. So you can stand like 2 vehicles long and you're not in the way. But since we have the pandemic going on and we are supposed to work from home if we can, I can't do that unless someone wants to sponsor me with an engine test bed. Then I could work from home. But so normally I park in the parking lot that's almost furthest away from the office, because then you find people who they take their time, they are a bit more careful when parking, they aren't as stressed, that's why they don't try their hardest, or that's wrong, they can take their time, so they don't mind parking a bit further away from the office. So if you go to the parking spots closest to the office, then you have people who are stressed coming to work, stressed leaving work. And as I said, since we have the pandemic going on and people are supposed to work from home, these 8 bigger parking spots, they are most often free. So I usually park in one of those, and I usually take one of them which are on the far end of the parking area. But now when I finished work and came down, a car had parked close to mine. Between his car and the next one, there was a complete row of empty car spots. So he could have put his car in the middle of the parking spot. He would still be able to open the doors, even with me in the adjacent parking spot. But he had to park right on the line, which, it's like the times when you go to a shopping mall or something and you park as far away as possible. And when you come out, some idiot is parking or has parked right next to you. I don't get that. But what we're seeing is that people, they don't care about material things. It's too easy to get a car today. I think. I know that's a bit harsh to say because there are people who can't afford to have a car. But among those that have cars, they have families, sure, so they have different priorities. But if you're going along the track of saying that people are more important than material things, well, then you need to respect the work that those people are doing, and therefore respect what they are spending their money on. I might be a bit on the extreme side because I'm a bit damaged by all the painting, so I see every little scratch, I see every little imperfection. So every panel on my Supra is containing different compromises. If I were to paint it so that I was fully happy with it, or if I were to do it so that I'm in a spot where I can say this is completely done, I can't do anything more, then I think I would be painting it for the rest of my life. So I am accepting imperfections, flaws, etc. I know about them. Many people won't even notice them. But even if it's behind a plastic trim or whatever, I will know that it's there. But the thing is, then I have made the choice of doing that compromise. No one else. And no one else should force you or try to tell you to make a compromise on something that you do. And again, then along those lines, it doesn't matter what the value of your car or bike or skateboard or stick. I mean, just look at the dog carrying a stick. How proud isn't that dog? And no money was spent, but the dog did the work. Or maybe the owner did the work actually and picked the stick up. And then the dog is carrying out this work, carrying the stick. But yeah. So my plan, sort of, not even a plan, an idea I had was that I was going to sell the Peugeot this spring after I had finished the paint correction and protected it properly, cleaned the interior, etc., etc. Made all the servicing things that I've saved up, and then buy something a little bit bigger because I think I need it. Sorry, that's wrong. I don't think I know I need something bigger. But this might change now. And it's not by my own choice. And that makes me angry and sad, because if you've ever dealt with insurance companies or just people who don't see things the same way you do, then you know it will be a problem. I haven't told you about everything that's going on in my life, because it would be too much of a downer, but I've needed to work with the insurance company twice, different companies than what I'm using for the Peugeot. My motorcycle was stolen, and it took, I would say it took maybe 8 months before I had the money in my account. So I went to the police storage area, I picked up the bike, and of course I was very sad seeing it like that. They had taken a rattle can, spray painted everything flat black. They had broken all the locks besides the rear one for the seat, because I had upgraded it. So the bike was a ZZR 600 1992, and I took the rear part from ZX6R, the same one I have now, the orange one, so 2001 2002, and I made some modifications and made it work. Also, it was fuel injected and so on, done by me, of course. So and I didn't get a new lock for the seat, so I had a special zip tie. It was tucked away in a spot so that only I could open it. So thankfully they couldn't find a lock to break. But yeah, so that took 8 months. It was basically, they said this is our final offer, take it or leave it. So the second time is still going on. It's now been it took me about 7 months before I could stomach the process of getting the process started, and that is more than a year ago. So 19 months, and it's still going on. It was a break-in into my flat. That's still going on. So my experience with insurance companies aren't that great. And despite what you see in media, if you're outside of Sweden, we are not really that well taken care of if we're staying on the correct side of the law. There is a saying that you need to be healthy in order to get healthy. So if you need hospital care, etc., then you need to fight for yourself or have someone fight for you, because it's not as easy as walking into a hospital and say, hello, I need some help. No, you need to work them. You need to demand that tests are being done and so on. And sure, to every rule there is an exception. So what I'm saying is not 100% true, not even when it comes to me. I've had good experience with the health care, but most of the time someone has been working for me, mostly my mom actually. I'm not really looking forward to see what the result is from this. So despite being a nice car, well functioning, I got it inspected last week, so it's street legal and everything is okay. Next inspection is supposed to be done in 2022, somewhere in March. But the actual money value on the car is not that high. So I have a suspect that they might buy me out. And just like with my motorcycle, the thing with my motorcycle that got stolen, the evaluation of, or the assessment of the damages that the thieves did to it, is that it would cost 45,000 Swedish crowns, so $4,000 or $5,000 to restore it. And the thing is, if you have that assessment, you can't say, okay, well, I accept if the insurance company pays for this, then I can take this list, close it down, and then just go on. No. The list that they've done when assessing needs to be completed, the entire list. So you can't get away with doing just a few things. And if you don't complete the entire list, well, then you can't get it back on the road. So when you have a big list like that, then it's often easier to to just let them buy you out. But then the next negotiation starts on when you're settling on a sum of money. So the left rear quarter panel, the rear bumper needs to be fixed, both of them. It's a metallic paint, and the paint shop will hate me if they are to repair it. Since it's still drivable, as far as I know, I didn't feel it being untrue. All lights works and so on. Perhaps they can just say, we pay you this much, and you can just continue. You can do whatever you like. I'm not sure if that's the way it works, but maybe. Then I could drive on, but the problem is I would not be able to get the same money that I would get if I were to sell it this spring in the condition that I was in yesterday. So I would need to take a loss. And again, not my decision. So but yeah. And yes, I am happy that neither me nor the other driver or anyone else was injured in the accident. But still, it was so unnecessary. I was basically parked. Yeah. So the next thing then is, if I need to get another car, would I spend more money? I mean, the thoughts going on in my head now is that this will happen again. I mean, just the problems with parking and people just opening up doors and putting door dings and so on. That alone drives me crazy. And then to add that I might get in another accident like this, and again someone makes the decision for me. I guess the most annoying thing is that I try to respect other people's material things, other people's work. So I guess the hardest part is that I don't get the same treatment in return. But looking at Sweden now, then perhaps that's the common thing now, unfortunately. Sometimes I think that I would maybe build some bash bars. If you don't know what it is, have a look at drifting cars, especially training cars, drift missiles. Instead of having front and rear bumper, or you have the front bumper on modern cars is you have a crash bar and then you have a bumper cover. So the bumper or the crash bar is basically a beam out of steel or aluminum, and it's supposed to not take care of impacts, but steer the impacts in a correct way, so that you collapse the correct parts of the car, because you have a volume that you need to protect where the people are. But drift vehicles, they are, for some reason, they get close to walls, other cars, and stuff like that. So they have a bit of touch, and they basically then build a new bumper out of steel pipes, so that you can actually not hit, but touch other people's drifting cars, because they are on the same track. They know about the risks and so on, so they've accepted it. It's not like you can go out in traffic and bump it. But what if you were to drive around with bash bars in traffic? As long as you don't have any sharp edges or anything protruding outside of the actual dimensions of the car, and well, then you're basically road legal. And then you can have it slightly bigger, so that in case someone gets too close, they don't get to touch the quarter panel. Or you can also have those along the underneath the doors, the thresholds of the car, so that other cars can't push in doors and so on. But then again, a daily driver should be nice. You should be able to drive where you need to drive. You should be able to arrive rested, and you shouldn't really need to think about everything that can go wrong, which I'm doing now. So yeah, we will see. And like I said, I was supposed to be in the garage now and working on my Supra, but for some reason this woman felt that it was a good thing to hit my car instead. I'm starting to think that I'm sort of followed with bad luck. You will see in the Supra episodes from last week that I'm sad, and so on, because one of my aunts passed away last week. So I'm not comparing getting hit in my car with that. I don't, but it's just another thing that goes wrong. And if you add that to the list of the previous things, then the list is long. So in case you didn't pick up on this before, you are my therapist. Doing this channel and so on is a sort of a therapy for me. Yeah, at least this is something meaningful. And so I didn't get to drive anything, but I got to focus on talking to you. So two things. or 3 things. Take what I said with a pinch of salt, because I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm sad right now, but this is the segment where I ventilate, so bear with me. The second thing, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every little view, every little like, every little subscriber, not subscription. It's I would lie if I said that I don't go into YouTube Studio and checking the subscriber count and so on several times per day. It's really nice to see the channel grow. So I'm very thankful for that. And the third thing, thank you very much for letting me ventilate. You might not see it because you don't see me, you're not around me that much, besides in the episodes, and I try to put on some sort of mask. Yeah, it's a relief for me. So perhaps you find some topic that you want to bring up, then please do so. Just write in the comments, write in a DM, or is there a way to message on YouTube? Maybe not. But you have the comments, and you have Facebook, and you have Instagram. You have many ways to reach me. Just say anything. Yeah, but thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Stay safe. It's a harsh world out there. Take care, and bye bye.